There's a certain level of discipline. It's so intense, it actually starts to freak people out. Well, today, we're going to break down an ancient system that's engineered to do just that, to give you a scary, frightening level of consistency.
Have you ever seen that person? The one who just never fails? I mean, they wake up at the same time, every day, do the same things, and they just don't stop. Most of us, right? We give up after a couple of weeks, we're making excuses, and they're just showing up. What is their secret? How on earth do they do it?
Well, that secret might just come down to this ancient Zen practice called Gyoji. It literally means continuous practice without gaps. Think about that. It's a system that's literally designed to keep itself going. And once you really get the principles behind it, you might just never break a promise to yourself again.
All right, so to really get this, let's talk about a guy named Raphael. He's a programmer, super successful, really smart, but he had a problem I think a lot of us can relate to. He just could not stick with any new habit for more than like 2 weeks. The gym, meditation, reading, you name it, nothing ever lasted.
I mean, does this cycle sound familiar to you at all? For Raphael, it was always the exact same pattern. Monday, he's totally motivated, ready to go. By Wednesday, though, that little voice in his head starts negotiating. Maybe just skip today. Come Friday, it's a complete surrender. And then Sunday rolls around, and he's making all these promises about next week for sure. He was literally fighting a losing battle against his own brain.
So, Raphael's big breakthrough. It happened when he started looking into how Zen monks could keep their practices going for centuries without missing a single day. And he realized it wasn't about having more willpower. Nope, it was all about their first principle, the public vow.
Okay, so this is the absolute core of that first principle. See, your brain has these 2 little boxes for commitments. In one box, you've got the reversible ones. That's when you say something like, I'll try to meditate. That word try is just an open invitation for your brain to negotiate. But the other box, that's for irreversible commitments. You're not trying to be a meditator anymore, you just are one. The decision is made. Done.
And this isn't just some feel-good idea, it's actually backed by science. Research from Harvard shows that when you go public with a commitment, your primitive brain, your lizard brain, sees failure as a legitimate survival threat. I mean, think about it. For our ancestors, losing status in the tribe could literally be a death sentence. That wiring is still in us today. So suddenly, giving up becomes way more painful than just continuing.
So that's the key, right? It's this total shift in mindset. Raphael stopped making these quiet little promises to himself, and instead, he made a public declaration. He actually went online and posted that he was a person who would meditate for 90 days straight. And just like that, the negotiation inside his own head, it started to go quiet.
But, making it public, that was only step 1. Every single morning, Raphael was still fighting this war against its own biology. I mean, his body didn't care about his online reputation. It just wanted to hit the snooze button. And that struggle led him straight to the second principle of Gyoji. Think about how much mental energy we waste every single day just deciding when we're going to do something. So Raphael made a choice, 5 a.m. And it wasn't because he was some big morning person who loved sunrises. No, it was to kill the decision completely. At 5 a.m., the world is asleep, there are 0 distractions, 0 excuses, the time was just locked in, non-negotiable.
But then, of course, a new problem popped up. His sneaky brain found a loophole. He was up at 5 a.m., sure, but now he started negotiating what he was going to do. Should I meditate today? Or maybe read? Or what about push-ups? This little bit of variety, it created total chaos. And it was just enough of a crack for all his old habits to start leaking back in.
The only solution? He had to become a robot. He completely locked in his practice. The exact same things in the exact same order every single day. No exceptions. 20 push-ups, then 10 minutes of meditation, then 10 minutes of reading. Boom, boom, boom. This completely wiped out all those tiny micro-decisions and gave his mind absolutely nothing left to argue about.
And this is where the magic really starts to happen. So researchers at MIT found that after you repeat an action in the same context for about 66 days, something incredible happens. The part of your brain called the basal ganglia just takes over. The behavior goes on autopilot. You're not even deciding to do it anymore. You're just doing it. It's as automatic as brushing your teeth.
Okay, so Raphael's got his public vow. He's got his robotic ritual. He's on a roll. But what happens when life does what life does and gets in the way? A sick day,
a last-minute business trip. This is the exact point where most people fall off the wagon. And that brings us to the third, and maybe the most important, principle of Goji, the unbroken chain. Listen, if you take one thing away from this whole explainer, let it be this. The all-or-nothing mindset, it's a total trap. It has killed more dreams than laziness ever could. We tell ourselves, oh, I can't do the full 20 minutes, so I'll just skip today. That kind of thinking creates gaps, and those gaps, that's where your old, inconsistent self crawls right back in.
And this really shows the huge difference between strategic rest and just plain retreat. A rest day can be part of the plan, right? It helps you come back stronger tomorrow. But skipping a day just because you're tired? That's not rest. That's a retreat. The real goal is to never, ever stop the forward momentum, even if on some days it's just a tiny little trickle.
So how do you actually maintain that momentum? Simple. You pre-solve your problems. Raphael literally sat down and wrote out every possible obstacle he could think of, and then created an if-then plan for each one. Look at the hangover plan. It's not about being perfect. It's about not breaking the chain. 2 push-ups, 1 minute of meditation. It's tiny, but it keeps the chain intact. No matter what, the practice goes on.
And the power of doing this is backed up by researchers at Yale. When you pre-decide what you're going to do, you totally remove decision fatigue right when you need your brain power the most, when you're stressed or tired. All your willpower gets saved for actually doing the thing, not for arguing with yourself about it. The answer is already there. You just have to follow it.
So after 90 days of this unbroken chain, something way deeper happened to Raphael. This wasn't just about building a few good habits anymore. He literally wasn't the same person who started.
His friends actually came up to him and said, dude, your consistency is scary. And that's a key signpost. When your level of discipline starts to make other people a little uncomfortable, that's when you know you're really onto something. You've hit a level that they honestly didn't even think was possible.
And trust me, people will start to call you obsessive. They'll tell you that you need more balance. And you have to ask yourself why. It's because your progress is a mirror that reflects their own inaction. They need you to slow down, to be normal again, so they can feel better about standing still. You can't let them.
And that really brings us right to the heart of what the Goji system is all about. This was never just some productivity hack. It's a process for reshaping your entire identity. You stop being the person who tries to do things, and you just become the person who does them. It's who you are now. So, you see, the real question isn't, can you build a habit? The real question is this. This system, it literally requires the death of your old, inconsistent self to allow for the birth of someone who is, well, unbreakable. It's not going to just make you better, it will make you fundamentally different. So are you ready for that?